now we are turning left to the peninsula of Pelješac. So the town of Ston is situated on a piece of land that connects the mainland with peninsula of Pelješac. Pelješac is the second largest peninsula on the Croatian coast. The biggest one is Istria Peninsula, which is in the northern part of Croatia. So this is the second one. It's 72 kilometers long. And it's a peninsula known for the production of wine, very good quality wine. The type of grape they have here is called Plavac Mali, which is little blue grape in English. They produce also Zinfandel in California, in Napa Valleys, from the same type of grapes. So those are from the same family of wines. Plavac Mali and Zinfandel in California and Primitivo in Italy, in Sicily. So it's a good quality red wine. That's the most famous one in this area. And on the right you can see Malostonski Zaljev, or Small Stone Bay. This is the bay where the oyster beds are. This is where they cultivate oysters and mussels and others. The longest city wall in Europe and second longest in the world. Second one after the Great Wall of China.
We're talking
They
about
started
Ston.
building that city wall in the 14th century when the town was bought by Dubrovnik Republic to protect themselves from the sea, from pirates and from the Ottomans that were later on coming from the interior parts. And to protect was the most important, to protect the salt pans, because as I said, salt was so important for the people of Dubrovnik Republic. In 1933 they started producing salt as the same way as you will see them they are producing today. Simply they put the seawater in the pools. There are 13 pools, and then they let it dry out during the summer, and in the fall they collect the salt before the rains begin. Unfortunately, this year it has been raining throughout the summer, and they said they won't get any salt this year. This here is the town of Ston, where the bus will stop here at the parking place. We will first take a short tour of the town. I will show you the most important, and then you'll have a little bit of time to take a rest, to have some coffee, to buy some souvenirs and so on. At 1:15, so now it's 20 to 1. 1:15, we will meet here at the parking lot at the same place.
Good beer. Cost €2. We're getting ready to cast off here. Perfect day, perfect weather. loving this ocean breeze here. That's our tour guide. Whoa.
Tiny plastic nets made of plastic fibers in the sea. They are not so tiny, they are 1 square meter, but they are made of tiny plastic fibers. And we leave them in the sea for 1 year. We put them in the sea and leave them in the sea for 1 year. And after 1 year, when we get them out on every collector, you have about 500 to 1,000 maybe oysters.
Whoa.
That get about this big in the 1 year on the collector. And then we had to separate them because we couldn't leave them to grow on the collector. There will be too much oysters, not enough space, and they will die from starvation. So we have to separate them, and we do it in the second phase of production, which we call cement. So basically, what we do, we take a small rope, not so thick, and we put it like like a string. And then what we do, let's say my hand is the 1-year-old oysters. So we put the oyster, and then we put the rope like this, and then we put a piece of cement here, and then we glue the other oyster like this. And I imagine that the rope is hanging like this, and we do it again. So we glue 50 oysters on each rope. And the oysters need to grow 2 more years this way. So that's the 3 years. 1 year on the collector and 2 years on the rope. And also this oyster type is called a Streaudulis on Latin, which means flat oyster in English. And it is special because it is growing only in this bay on the whole world. And this bay is very special because of 2 or 3 special factors that are making this oyster able to grow here. The first thing is the big river of Neretva that we have 20 kilometers down there, that is bringing lots of fresh food and water and minerals needed for the oysters to grow. The second thing that we have is a lot of little rivers coming from the bottom and sides of the bay and doing the same thing. And the third thing that we have is very strong currents. And that's very good for the oysters because they feed with planktons. But they can't swim around and catch them. They can only open in the sea and filter the sea that comes in. And of course, if you have stronger currents, the oyster opens, more sea comes in, the oyster can filter more sea, get more food, be bigger and better. Here in this bay you have a mixture of the sea water and the fresh river water. And that's what this type of oyster prefers. It can't stay in a really salty sea, it needs to be a mixture. So the oyster is a little bit better when we have heavy rain here. Because it rears up the sea a little bit and it likes more the water, and the oyster has a better taste. For tourists like you. And we have a much bigger farm that is over there, and there we actually grow the oysters, and then when they are ready to be eaten, then we take the ropes and bring them to people.
You ship internationally your oysters?
No, only, as I said, only 400 pieces a year in the day, so not enough.
Maybe take the oysters out if you really don't.
There's no pearls in these.
We know who, we just don't go to the people across the other side, across the ditch. The ditch is not deep.
More lemon there. Oh, good. It's
Seafood platter. Lord knows what I mean. We love you, Croatia.